Hi, welcome to Alaskan in the Philippines. Today I thought I'd talk a little bit more about the medical tourism, as that's kind of the reason I'm here myself. I flew in from the Philippines because I knew I had to get a hernia repaired. I had an inguinal hernia, and I did get an appointment and got it done really cheaply for like under $800 or something, 700 and some dollars, and two nights stay in the hospital and fully repaired my surgery, and I'm off, good to go again, and full 100% recovery after been about 2 months, or I think somewhere around there, maybe even less. But I'm back, baby, and it feels great to not be sporting that hernia. I was always had to have a belt or some special underwear to hold it in, and it kind of really sucked. So yeah, that was great. And I went to a government hospital here in Hue Hin, Thailand. It's the government hospital right up the ways, and checked in for 2 days, made an appointment. They took care of me. It was a really good deal. I think I was really educational. I think our government, U.S. hospital, could learn a bunch from them. I think, really, just on how to treat people cheaply and properly. They just have their system down. It seemed like. The building was a little worn, but it was okay, and the healthcare was top notch, even though a lot of them are just young interns and stuff. I bet when I was getting my surgery, the doctor was probably in his late 20s, it looked like, 28, 30 maybe. And a lot of all the other assistants in the surgery, they were only probably looked like 21, 22. They were taking selfies and stuff, and they had me bound. If my arms weren't bound, I would have gave a thumbs up. They used me in a background for a selfie. I couldn't believe it. I thought it was great. But anyway, yeah, I got good treatment, great recovery after that. They gave me the right meds. They didn't even use stitches or nothing. They just taped mine shut, my incision shut, and that healed perfectly. They stitch it inside and put a piece of mesh, inside. And then I did a video about it and put it on YouTube. And then just yesterday, I was walking down through Market Village Mall. I was wandering around, looking like I always do. And I'm gonna get something to eat. It's evening time. And a guy walked up to me and he goes, "Hey," I goes, "I'm here because of you." And I said, "Really?" I go, "You Alaskan in the Philippines, right?" "Oh yeah." And there was one of the commenters on here that had seen my videos in the Philippines, and he wanted to get the same problem fixed. You may have seen his comments in the comments section, but he needed the same surgery as I did, and he didn't want to get it done in the Philippines either. He was another American from the East Coast, and we stopped and had a good long chat for a while, and got to compare wounds and war stories, basically. But yeah, he had a different nurse. He flew all the way in from the same area, Cebu. I flew in from too. And he flew in on a different airlines. Actually, he flew in Cebu Pacific. I flew in on Philippine Air. And they're both pretty good airlines from the Philippines. And yeah, he said they did the same. He brought his girlfriend, and that was a good thing. So he didn't need a nurse or anybody to watch him. But he also added that I might warn her that how his girlfriend, he said, was questioned right at they were, had a lot of questions to answer before they let her leave the country. They had to show pictures of them together in the past and all that stuff, and asked if he supported her. And he was standing right there, and he was like, they were just going to ask her questions in front of him. They said, "You got to leave," and they had him move so they could give her this third degree, I guess. Said they questioned her a good 10 minutes or something, and then they finally let her through after I guess, and she answered the questions right or whatever. So then he got it done just recently, and he just wanted to tell me that it was me, and I'm glad I came. It looked like it was all successful for him. I asked how'd it go, and yeah, everything went good, and he was hurt like he said. I told him, I ain't gonna lie to you. You're gonna be hurt in unit for a couple of days, but after that, it progressively gets better real quickly. So I'm real back. After a couple of weeks or a week, you'll be feeling pretty good again. But you'll still feel that pain, tenderness for another month. So that's what I did. But anyway, yeah, and he said he had a female doctor. I had a male doctor. And he said she put 4 stitches in his. He said his were kind of looked like they were far apart, but 4 stitches. And I thought he said no bandage, or no, they took off his bandage this time, and yeah, no bandage. I think that's what they did to me too. I think the first time no, I got 3 bandage changes, I believe, two or three, I think. The third time when I saw the surgeon again, he didn't put it back on. He said it's good. And yeah, and I have about a scar about that long right there. I mean, I put it for a thumbnail. But anyway, just to show, and then I asked him how his is going. He says his looks like it's successful, and he's feeling better, and his hernia is gone too, and he's headed back to the Philippines here pretty quick. So in a few days, it sounded like, and him and his girlfriend are going to go back, and with a successful cheap. I think he mentioned, I forgot to ask him how much they charged him, but I think he said they were going to charge him 25 or something, 25,000 baht or something. I can't remember. But and mine was about 700. Came to around 700 or 800 US dollars when I had to buy a nurse factor, and I paid a nurse. I think he said he was quoted a little higher than me though, but it could have been, I don't know, maybe the size or length of the hernia, but it was a different surgeon too, a woman, he said. But it sounds like he got good treatment and cheap price. You'd never get that you'd never get that in the US, and he was from the US. And I asked him how he got it. I got mine doing a push-ups on a full stomach. I should have never ate first and never do that. And I strained on a push-up on a full stomach. And I asked him how he did his, and he said he was lifting a balikbayan box shipped to the Philippines, because you can load them up heavy as you can put anything. You can load it with bricks of gold, you know. But I guess he had balikbayan boxes that were so heavy he got a hernia lifting them up or moving them or something. Which, you know, you got to remember as you get older, especially if you got a beer gut, that beer gut even if you don't, it just stretch your walls of your abdomen get thin as you get aged. So you could have got away with that 10 years ago, but now you can't. So you really got to watch how you push and lift and stuff as you're getting older. Remember that, guys. I'd say anyone over 40 or 50, you be careful how you're lifting and pushing, you know, because that hernia could pop out if you really overstrain. And that's what happened to me. And it just gets worse and worse until you fix it. It never gets healed. It'll never get better. You got to get it fixed. So anyway, I just wanted to point out that that's 2 of us now there that came into Thailand for medical tourism. That's kind of the reason I'm here. I still never left. I'm still in recovery. That's my excuse. But yeah, he's going back to the Philippines soon, and his sounds like he's all successful recovery too. If you don't push it, which he ain't gonna. He's a smart man, and he's just gonna recover from his. Take his time, and within a month he'll be up and bouncing around like no problem. It'll be quicker than that within a week, you know, but I mean at a month he'll be realizing you forgot about it, you know, he'll forget about it for a while. And I don't think about mine at all like I used to be. You'd have to think about your hernia all day. It kind of sucked, you know, have to lift and stuff, you know. But anyway, if anybody else is thinking medical tourism and you can't, the medical system in America has just failed us completely, you know. We got the best medical industry in the world, but we can't afford it, you know, unless you pay some insurance company extortionist for the whole life of your life, and then they can fit you into the hospital. Here you can be, Asia, you can be seen for under $1,000 and get surgery. It's crazy. Why can't we do that in the U.S.? Or, you know, make it reasonable. I would have paid $4,000 or something, but they were going to quote me something like $30,000. I was like, wow, I can get it done. I looked into getting it done in Asia, and I realized I could, so I did. Waited it out until I retired and did it here. So just goes to show, if you need some medical emergency, you really can't, or it ain't an emergency, I mean, but if you have a medical condition that you want to get fixed here, I would say try a good government hospital, if you got more money and insurance, try a Thai hospital. But you know, one of the Bangkok hospitals, they have Bangkok Hospital as a chain all over Thailand. I went in there and got price quoted too, and it was going to cost me $4,000 in there. When I got a price quote at Bangkok Hospital right across the street, they quoted me 4,000. It would have come to 130,000 baht, I think it was, and that was And then here I got it. I went to the government hospital and they quoted me 20,000 or 25,000. I think I paid 20 or 25, somewhere in there. You can go back and watch the videos. I documented it all if you want to watch. and it gives the exact prices and everything. So yeah, so you can come here if you had something that you wanted to get fixed, problem that you had that you really couldn't afford to, or had waiting time, like some countries like Canada has waiting time, even in the US probably with all the migrants and stuff, you probably have waiting times. So yeah, you can come here cheaply and have good quality surgery. I can't say enough about how the surgeon's surgery room was well organized, well run, top-notch equipment, everything spotless, clean, and looked like real professional, young, aggressive, smart Thai people running it. Really, it was a great experience, I thought. The food was cool. It was great food. I loved it. Food was really good. And they had like a market downstairs. You go downstairs and it was like a whole night market area, like a block long, and it sold every kind of street food. Vendors, same as in a night market. You could buy cheap Thai food all over the place. It was absolutely great hospital. I thought it was great. But anyway, I thought I'd get the word out to some of you guys that may need health care. As we all get older, you got to think about that. You're eventually going to start breaking down, The older you are, and if you've had a tough life and beat your body working and trying to just make a living and eat, work, and sleep and couldn't even take care of yourself much, this is a place you could actually have some work done on your old carcass, and pull out without going, without having it drive you into poverty like it would for me in the U.S. It would have bankrolled my bank account, and I was going into retirement. I don't want to do that right as I'm going in. So I thought, why check it here? And I found out it can be done. And I guess you can too if you need it. Look into it. I can't, maybe not everything radio surgery or whatever, but it'd be worth it to check. If you want to pay a little more and go to the better hospitals, it'll still be a lot cheaper than the U.S. And these Thai hospitals that are top notch, they're very reasonable for the price of quality of care you're going to get there. I found out a lot of the surgeons, they go back and forth between the two hospitals. So even though you're getting the surgery at the government hospital, you may get a Bangkok hospital, the higher priced surgeon, come out and do the surgery, because they both work back and forth, probably on a training program so they're probably using us as cadavers to work on, just like the people. I think the Thai people get pretty cheap rate too, almost free, I think. And but we're paying for it, so it's not like we're free. I don't see a lot of foreigners out at the hospital. I did bump into one or two every time I go. There's always a couple, 2 or 3 sometimes. And I hope it never gets overrun to crowd out the locals, or slow it down. But everybody realizes it's just slow. But they do a steady job of taking care of everybody. It really helps to have your translator when you go, because if nobody speaks Thai or English much, you really got to translate to show the desk ladies. That worked best. That's the best to do it. So yeah, that whole hope it helps someone, that might need help in the future. Think about that. If you can't afford it in the U.S., help could be here in Thailand. Well, be sure to like, share, and subscribe. We'll see you in the next one. Bye.